How are you guys doing? Today is Friday, February 11th, 2022. I'm James Sims, and for this episode of The Elite, I'm going to review yesterday's Elite matchups and performances from Thursday, February 10th. And of course, taking a quick look at where we are in the back end of the college and professional basketball seasons. We still have one last football game of the season left to go, Super Bowl 56 on Sunday. And we are also in the midst of the 2022 Winter Olympics taking place in Beijing. First, starting off with what's going on in college basketball, looking at the number 2 ranked team in the nation, the Gonzaga Bulldogs would host the unranked Pacific Tigers. Gonzaga would end up beating Pacific 89-51. With this win, they were able to beat Pacific by 38 after they outscored Pacific by 18 in the first half and by 20 in the second. On the winning end of this matchup, the Bulldogs were led in scoring by their starting guard, Rasir Bolton, their senior out of Virginia. He would go on to finish with 20 points in 24 minutes. He shot 8 for 11 from the field and 4 for 6 from 3. With this win, the second-ranked Gonzaga Bulldogs are 20-2. They are now 9-0 and still undefeated in the West Coast Conference. With this loss, the unranked Pacific Tigers are 7-17. They are now 2-7 in the West Coast Conference. Looking at the third-ranked team in the nation, the Purdue Boilermakers would go to Ann Arbor, Michigan, and face off against the unranked Michigan Wolverines. Not only would Michigan upset the number 3 ranked team in the nation, they won this game 82-58. They won it by 24 points after they outscored Purdue by 9 in the first half and by 15 in the second half. On the losing end of this matchup, the third-ranked Boilermakers were led in scoring by their starting guard out of South Bend, Indiana, Jaden Ivey. Ivey finished with 18 points and 5 turnovers in 32 minutes. He shot 6 for 12 from the field and 5 for 7 from the foul line. On the winning end of this matchup, the unranked Michigan Wolverines were led in scoring by their starting center, Hunter Dickinson. Their sophomore out of Alexandria, Virginia, would finish with 22 points, 9 rebounds, 3 steals, and 2 blocks in 35 minutes. He shot 8 for 15 from the field, 4 for 6 from 3, and a perfect 2 for 2 from the foul line. With this win, the unranked Michigan Wolverines are 13-9. They are 7-5 in the Big Ten. With this loss, the third-ranked Purdue Boilermakers are 21-4. They are now 10-4 in the Big Ten. Taking a look at what's going on with the fourth-ranked team in the nation, the Arizona Wildcats will go to Washington State and face off against the unranked Cougars. Arizona beat Washington State 72-60. They won this matchup by 12 after outscoring Washington State by 13 in the first half. On the winning end of this matchup, the fourth-ranked Wildcats were led in scoring by their starting guard, Benedict Maturin, out of Canada. He went on to finish with 20 points and 5 rebounds in 34 minutes. He shot 7 for 12 from the field, 3 for 6 from 3, and he made all 3 of his free throws on the night. With this win, the fourth-ranked Arizona Wildcats are 21-2. They are 11-1 in the Pac-12. With this loss, the unranked Washington State Cougars are now 14-8 on the season. Taking a look now at what is going on with the 7th-ranked team of the nation, my alma mater, the Duke Blue Devils, would go to Clemson, South Carolina, face off against the Tigers. Duke beat Clemson 82-64. They won this matchup by 18 after outscoring Clemson by 11 in the first half and by 7 in the second half. On the winning end of this matchup, the 7th-ranked Duke Blue Devils were led in scoring by their guard off the bench, Trevor Keels. Keels finished with 25 points and 11 rebounds in 30 minutes. He shot 9 for 13 from the field, 3 for 6 from 3, and he shot 4 for 6 from the foul line. With this win, the 7th-ranked Duke Blue Devils are now 20-4. They are 10-3 in the ACC. And with this loss, the unranked Clemson Tigers are now 12-12. They are 4-9 in the ACC. Looking at what happened with the 22nd-ranked team in the nation, the St. Mary's Gaels would host the unranked San Diego Toreros. St. Mary's would beat San Diego 86-57. They won this matchup by 29 after outscoring the Toreros by 21 in the first half, doubling their first half total, by the way. And they outscored San Diego by 8 in the second half. On the winning end of this matchup, the Gaels were led in scoring by their starting guard, Logan Johnson. Their senior out of Mountain View, California, would finish with 16 points, 9 rebounds, and 5 steals in 27 minutes. He shot 5 for 12 from the field, 2 for 5 from 3, and a perfect 4 for 4 from the foul line. With this win, the 22nd ranked St. Mary's Gaels are 20-5 on the year. They are 8-2 in the West Coast Conference. With this loss, the unranked San Diego Toreros are 13-12. They are now 6-6 in the conference that's being dominated by Gonzaga at the moment. And then last but not least, taking a look at what happened with the 23rd ranked team in the nation, the Murray State Racers would face off against the unranked Tennessee State Tigers in Tennessee. Murray State won this matchup 73-62. They won this matchup by 11 after outscoring Tennessee State by 18 in the second half to overcome their 7-point deficit. On the winning end of this matchup, the Racers were led in scoring by their starting forward, KJ Williams, out of Mississippi. He would go on to finish with 39 points and 6 rebounds, as well as 2 blocks in 38 minutes. He shot 15 for 22 from the field, 2 for 5 from 3, and 7 for 9 from the foul line. With this win, the 23rd ranked Murray State Racers are 23-2. They are 13-0 in the Ohio Valley Conference. They are the only team that's still undefeated in conference play. With this loss, the unranked Tennessee State Tigers are 10-15. They are 5-8 in their conference at the moment. Taking a look at what went down in the NBA. But before I get to that, of course, I just mentioned that the Super Bowl is going to take place on Sunday at 6:30. Like I said, on NBC is going to be a very big matchup as the Rams, the 4 seed in the NFC, are going to face off against the Cincinnati Bengals, who are the 4 seed in the AFC. This is the second year in a row that the Rams are going to be, or this is the second year that a team that stadium is the host venue for the Super Bowl is actually going to be one of the 2 teams in it, as the Buccaneers did it last year. Taking a look at what happened in the NBA, jumping out to Detroit, the Pistons hosted the Grizzlies, and the Grizzlies were able to beat the Pistons 132-107. The Grizzlies won this matchup by 25 after they outscored the Pistons by 22 in the first quarter and another 10 in the fourth. On the losing end of this matchup, the hometown Detroit Pistons were led in scoring by their starting small forward, Jeremy Grant. He finished with 20 points and 2 blocks in 29 minutes. He shot 7 for 13 from the field and 6 for 7 from the foul line. The Pistons starting shooting guard, Hamidou Diallo, finished with 17 points and 10 rebounds in 31 minutes. He shot 7 for 13 from the field and 2 for 3 from the foul line. On the winning end of this matchup, the Memphis Grizzlies were led in scoring by their elite starting point guard, Ja Morant. Morant finished with 23 points, 4 rebounds, and 6 assists in 30 minutes. He shot 7 for 17 from the field, 2 for 8 from 3, and 7 for 9 from the foul line. Their starting shooting guard, Desmond Bane, finished with 22 points and 6 rebounds in 28 minutes. He shot 7 for 11 from the field, 3 for 4 from 3, and he shot 5 for 6 from the foul line. The Grizzlies small forward off the bench, Kyle Anderson, finished with 13 points and 11 rebounds in 26 minutes. He shot 6 for 11 from the field, and he made one of his 2 free throw attempts on the night. With this win, the Memphis Grizzlies are now 39-18. And of course, with this loss, the Detroit Pistons are now 12-43, holding on to the worst record in the Eastern Conference right now, or at least competing for it. Taking a look at what happened in our nation's capital, the Washington Wizards hosted the Brooklyn Nets. The Wizards beat the Nets 113-112. They won this matchup by 1 after they outscored the Nets by 12 in the third quarter. On the losing end of this matchup, the Brooklyn Nets were led in scoring by their elite starting point guard out of Duke, Kyrie Irving. He finished with 31 points, 5 rebounds, and 6 assists in 38 minutes. He shot 9 for 22 from the field, 3 for 8 from 3, 10 for 11 from the foul line. Their starting shooting guard, Cam Thomas, finished with 27 points and 2 steals in 36 minutes. He shot 11 for 18 from the field, 4 for 8 from 3, and he made his only free throw attempt on the night. On the winning end of this matchup, the hometown Washington Wizards were led in scoring by their starting point guard, Raul Neto. He finished with 21 points and 6 assists in 31 minutes. He went on to shoot 7 for 9 from the field and a perfect 6 for 6 from the foul line. And also in their starting lineup, their starting small forward, Kyle Kuzma, finished with 15 points, 13 rebounds, 10 assists, and 6 turnovers in 38 minutes. Within his triple-double, he shot 6 for 15 from the field 1 for 5 from 3, and a perfect 2 for 2 from the foul line. With this win, the Washington Wizards are 25-29 on the year. And with this loss, the Brooklyn Nets are now 29-26. That is yet another loss for them. Jumping out to New Orleans, the Pelicans hosted the Miami Heat. The Miami Heat beat the New Orleans Pelicans 112-97. They won this matchup by 15 after they outscored the Pels by 9 in the third quarter, and then by an additional 5 in the fourth, by 14 total points in the second half. On the losing end of this matchup, the hometown Pelicans were led in scoring by their by their point guard off the bench, Jose Alvarado. Their guard out of Georgia Tech would go on to finish with 17 points in 20 minutes. He shot 7 for 12 from the field and 3 for 6 from 3. And on the winning end of this matchup, the Miami Heat were led in scoring by their starting center, Bam Adebayo, and their elite starting small forward, Jimmy Butler. Adebayo finished with 29 points, 10 rebounds, and 3 steals in 36 minutes. He shot 13 for 21 from the field and 3 for 4 from the foul line. Their elite starting small forward, Jimmy Butler, finished with 29 points, 8 rebounds, 3 assists, and 4 steals in 36 minutes. He shot 9 for 16 from the field and a perfect 11 for 11 from the foul line. Their starting point guard, Kyle Lowry, finished with 14 points, 11 rebounds, 11 assists, and 4 steals in 36 minutes. He shot 5 for 9 from the field and 4 for 7 from 3. And, of course, with this win, the Miami Heat are now 37-20. And with this loss, the New Orleans Pelicans are now 22-34 on the year. Taking a look at what's going on in Houston, the Rockets hosted the Toronto Raptors. The Raptors were able to beat the Rockets 139-120. The Raptors won this game by 19 after they outscored the Rockets by 13 in the second quarter, and then they went on to outscore the Rockets by 10 points in the second half. On the losing end of this matchup, the hometown Houston Rockets were led in scoring by their starting shooting guard, Kevin Porter Jr. He finished with 30 points and 8 assists in 36 minutes alongside 3 rebounds. He shot 11 for 16 from the field, 6 for 9 from 3, and 2 for 3 from the foul line. Also in their starting lineup, their starting center, Christian Wood, finished with 17 points, 11 rebounds, 6 assists, and 2 blocks in 32 minutes. He shot 6 for 12 from the field and 4 for 6 from the foul line. On the winning end of this matchup, the Toronto Raptors were led in scoring by their starting shooting guard out of Duke, Trent Jr. He finished with 42 points and 4 assists, as well as 4 steals in 37 minutes. Trent shot 15 for 26 from the field, 6 for 13 from 3, and 6 for 7 from the foul line. Their starting power forward, Pascal Siakam, finished with 30 points, 3 rebounds, and 4 assists, all in 32 minutes. He shot 13 for 19 from the field and 3 for 5 from the foul line. And with this win, the Toronto Raptors are now 31-23. With this loss, the Houston Rockets are now 15-40 on the year. Jumping out to Dallas, which is within the same state, the Mavericks hosted the LA Clippers. The Dallas Mavericks beat the Los Angeles Clippers 112-105. They won this matchup by 7 after outscoring the Clippers by 8 in the first quarter. On the losing end of this matchup, the LA Clippers were led in scoring by their starting small forward, Marcus Morris Sr. He finished with 21 points and 2 steals in 32 minutes. He shot 9 for 16 from the field and 3 for 6 from 3. On the winning end of this matchup, the hometown Dallas Mavericks were led in scoring by their elite starting shooting guard out of Slovenia, Luka Doncic. He finished with 51 points, 9 rebounds, 6 assists, and 7 turnovers in 40 minutes. He shot 17 for 26 from the field, 7 for 14 from 3, and he shot 10 for 14 from the foul line. With this win, the Dallas Mavericks are now 33-23. With this loss, the LA Clippers are now 27-30 on the season. Now, taking a look at what is going on in Phoenix, the Suns hosted the Milwaukee Bucks. The Suns were able to beat the Bucks 131-107. They won this matchup by 24 after they outscored the Bucks by 11 in the second quarter, 12 in the third quarter as well, so that's 23 in the middle 2 quarters. On the losing end of this matchup, the defending champs Milwaukee Bucks were led in scoring by their starting point guard Drew Holiday and their all-star starting small forward Chris Middleton. Holiday finished with 21 points and 5 rebounds in 34 minutes. He shot 7 for 12 from the field, 3 for 4 from 3, and 4 for 4 from the foul line. Chris Middleton finished with 21 points and 3 assists in 33 minutes. He shot 9 for 15 from the field and a perfect 2 for 2 2 from the foul line. Their elite starting power forward and last year's NBA Finals MVP, Giannis Antetokounmpo, finished with 18 points, 7 rebounds, and 8 assists in 30 minutes. He shot 5 for 14 from the field and 8 for 14 from the foul line. On the winning end of this matchup, the hometown Phoenix Suns were led in scoring by their starting center and former number 1 overall pick, Deandre Ayton. He finished with 27 points and 7 rebounds in 27 minutes. He shot 12 for 14 from the field and 3 for 4 from the foul line. Their elite starting point guard, Chris Paul, finished with 17 points, 7 rebounds, 19 assists, and 2 steals in 37 minutes. He would go on to shoot 5 for 11 from the field and a perfect 7 for 7 from the foul line. Their elite starting shooting guard, Devin Booker, would finish with 17 points, 4 rebounds, and 7 assists in 34 minutes. He shot 6 for 19 from the field, 2 for 8 from 3, and a perfect 3 for 3 from the foul line. With this win, the Phoenix Suns are 45-10. With this loss, the defending champs Milwaukee Bucks are now 35-22 as they're competing for the best record out east. And the Suns most definitely have the best record in the NBA still. And then last but not least, jumping out to San Francisco, the Golden State Warriors hosted the New York Knicks. The Knicks would get the better of the Warriors. They won this game 116-114. They won this game by 2 after outscoring the Warriors by 11 in the third quarter. On the losing end of this matchup, the hometown Golden State Warriors were led in scoring by their goated starting point guard, the NBA's all-time leader in three-pointers made. Stephen Curry will go on to finish with 35 points, 2 rebounds, and 10 assists in 39 minutes. He shot 11 for 25 from the field, 5 for 16 from 3, and a perfect 8 for 8 from the foul line. Their elite starting shooting guard, Klay Thompson, would finish with 17 points, 7 rebounds, and 5 assists in 30 minutes. He shot 7 for 17 from the field and 3 for 9 from 3. Their all-star starting small forward, Andrew Wiggins, would finish with 15 points and 7 rebounds in 36 minutes. He shot 6 for 13 from the field, 2 for 4 from 3, and he made his only free throw attempt on the day. On the winning end of this matchup, the New York Knicks were led in scoring by their starting power forward, Julius Randle. He finished with 28 points, 16 rebounds, and 7 assists in 37 minutes. He shot 10 for 23 from the field, and he would go on to shoot 8 for 12 from the foul line. Their starting shooting guard, Evan Fournier, would finish with 22 points in 31 minutes. He shot 7 for 17 from the field, 5 for 13 from 3, and 3 for 4 from the foul line. With this win, the New York Knicks are now 25-31. And with this loss, the Golden State Warriors are now 41-15 on the season. Taking a look at what went down yesterday in the world of soccer, Liverpool hosted Leicester City in the Premier League, and Diogo Jota's 2 goals would put Liverpool up 2-0 over Leicester City. Arsenal was also able to beat Wolverhampton 1-0 despite losing Martinelli in the 69th minute. In the Italian Coppa Italia, in what was effectively the quarterfinal round, Juventus was able to beat Sassuolo 2-1, as Juventus would advance off of an own goal in the 88th minute scored by Sassuolo. And Fiorentina would beat Atalanta 3-2 thanks to their 93rd minute goal from Milenkovic. And that's everything that I have for you within those. But taking one look at what went down in the Winter Olympics yesterday, in the competitions for yesterday. Looking first at the men's alpine combined slalom event, the gold medal went to Johannes Strolz out of Austria, as Norway took the silver and Canada took the bronze. In cross-country skiing and the women's 10-kilometer classic, the gold medal went to Teresa Johaug of Norway. Sorry if I butchered the name, as Finland would take the silver and the bronze. Taking a look at figure skating and the men's single skating free, the gold medal went to Nathan Chen of the United States, as Japan would take home the silver and the bronze. At freestyle skating in the mixed team aerials final 2, the gold medal will go to the United States of America, the silver will go to China, the host country, and bronze would go to Canada. Looking at what happened in luge in the team relay competition, the gold medal went to Germany, Austria would take silver, and Latvia would take bronze. In the snowboard women's half pipe for the final run, the gold medal would be given to Chloe Kim of the United States. The silver medal went to Spain, and the bronze medal will go to Japan. In the men's snowboard cross big final, the gold medal would go to Alessandro Hamerla of Austria, as Canada and Italy would take home the bronze. And last but not least, in the speed skating event in the women's 5,000 meter, the gold medal went to Irene Schouten of the Netherlands. Canada would take home the silver, and the Czech Republic would, of course, take home the bronze. That is what the Olympic medals are looking like, especially at this point. But once we are done with all of today's exhibitions and matchups, we are going to come back tomorrow on Saturday, February 12th to go over all of the matchups from today. I want to thank everyone for listening, and of course, I apologize for all the names that I butchered. I want to thank the ESPN, NCAA, NBA, NFL, and FIFA websites, even the Olympics websites for giving me all the facts and the figures. I would not be able to do this by myself. And with that said, I want to thank everyone once again for listening to this piece. I hope all is well, and I'll catch you with another episode after this. Peace out.